Well, good morning, everyone. So great to see you. Happy Friday. And in the United States, it's a week before Thanksgiving, actually, one day less, 6 days to our Thanksgiving. And so come on in. We've got a great show for you today. Lots of juicy content. I'm Leslie Flowers, and this week in Think and Grow Rich and using the 12 principles of success, we are setting our goal for Q4 2025. And I will sing you in. Come on in and let me know where you're calling from. Okay, so here we go. Come on in. I have my 1960s hair. Long ago, and so far away, I fell in love with you. Before the second show, your guitar, it sounds so sweet and clear, but you're not really here. It's just the radio. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you. I really do. Hey, Sandra and Jackie and Omar. This is a Karen Carpenter song. I just love it. Loneliness is such a sad affair, and I can hardly wait to be with you again. What to say to make you come again? Oh, baby, come back to me again and play your sad guitar. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'd come back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 I love you. I really do. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you. I really do. Hi, everybody. So glad that you're here today. I'm Leslie Flowers, and this is our Friday Think and Grow Rich and the 12 Laws of Achievement. Every Friday, 10 a.m., I do this, and I'm really excited that you're here because I have an announcement. So I'm going to offer this same Friday complimentary all next year. So those are my plans. So you can count on me each week to further absorb and immerse yourself in the principles of success and universal law and how the mind works and how to apply it, and do it so frequently using autosuggestion that your life begins to look quite different, where you learn to automatically look for the good in people. Now we have to work at it, looking for the greatness, because we have both. But before long, your natural way will be to look for the good in others and a lesson in every failure, because that's how we learn. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Okay, you're over on YouTube too. So let's say hello to I want to try something here. Let me try this, Aaron. Let's see if it works. Hold on a second. Oh, it does, but they're so teeny weeny. Oh, I don't know. I guess we can run them. I don't know. I don't think I like that right now, because I don't get to really see you. So Sandra Bote is here. Hi, Sandra. Sandra, thank you for being here. And you were the first one in. Sandra is so talented in so many ways. She has a certification as a master practitioner in NLP. She's a hypnotherapist, and she's also a #1 international bestseller and the mother of a child, and married to a psychological thriller author. So get to know her. Sandra, thanks for being here. I know how busy you are, and I'm always happy to see you. Always. And look who is here. Jackie Halberg. I am so excited that you're here. Hi, Jackie. I know you work and you're a team replay gal. I think you're going to love today. And it's special because you're here. Very special to me. There's our dear Omar. Hi, Omar. Omar, a couple of weeks ago, and I put our heads together and we had a Jeopardy Zoom party with 3 courageous contestants. And I wrote all the questions, and it turned out really well. I thought it was really fun and simple. And so, Omar, thank you for all you do for all of us to keep us entertained in kind of different ways. I love how you expand creatively what you're doing all the time. And Omar also has at noon on Sundays, noon Eastern, Do We Really Know Them? A quick inside look to a lot of the people we know, but from a different perspective. And there is Aaron. Okay, so I see you're on YouTube. Hi, Aaron. Aaron's in Calgary, Canada, and so glad you're here. Tonight at 8 o'clock is Soul Man Live, and it's a very special one. Everyone is special one. I don't miss them, okay, because they're just phenomenal. And tonight, Aaron and I are both part of Nicole Angay Galindo's anthology, the 3rd annual Legacy Chronicles. And so tonight we get to meet all the authors at 8 o'clock live. And there's some new exciting things coming out that I can't share about, but you'll get them. So I'm very excited about this. Aaron, thanks for being here. Yes, indeed. It is absolutely Friday. There's Linda Meyer. And watch Linda. You know, Linda has recently been certified as a coach, but I know she's been doing it before that. And she's starting to write some really interesting articles on narcissism. You know, I think that we all know people that are narcissistic, and we may even have a few tendencies ourselves. I think there's a spectrum of narcissism. What do you think, Linda? Let's talk about that at another time, that we all can see little things maybe that we've done that could be attributed to it. But doing this work, it takes a very small place in your life, because you can see yourself. So Linda, congratulations on your certification, and in gratitude that you're here for sure. And here is Ashif. Ashif Haji is a very good friend, a supporter since I came back on LinkedIn right after COVID. He lives in Toronto, Canada, and I refer to him as Rumi reincarnated, because his thought leadership sayings are innovative, creative, short and sweet, and to the point, and everywhere. So if you want a touch of inspiration, make sure you follow all these people. I am so happy you're here. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Aaron and I, Aaron and I worked together last summer very seriously on creating my book trailer, which was all done by the sixth sense, which is our topic today, and creative imagination, which Napoleon Hill, before he knew the distinction between conscious and subconscious, and I read the chapter again today, it became very clear that he didn't know there were two, and that's okay. He said he didn't understand it. So now I forgot what I was going to say about him, and it doesn't matter. I'm just so happy to see everybody here. And there's Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly was one of those brave characters who did the Jeopardy Zoom party with Omar, and we also had Donald Cohen, and the ringer that Omar brought in was Shawn Michael, who actually intensely studied like it was for a test, and he took home all the bacon that day. So much fun, and so glad you're here, Kimberly. And Kimberly also is a guest teacher on Mind Over Matter Mondays, which I do every Monday at 10 a.m. And I intend to continue that. Thank you so much for being here. And Aaron, thank you for your kind words. You're a special guy for sure. Oh, and look who's here. Aaron, Sharon Rose Winfield here. Rosie Speaks. This woman is the Gita girl, right? Gratitude is what she's all about. And gratitude and love and kindness are the vibration, the cellular vibration we're looking to have dominate our thoughts. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that what we think the most and the way we feel when we're thinking it, positive or negative, immediately translates to your body through your cells. Bruce Lipton, James Brody, scientists who have proven this, that what you're thinking causes the proteins in your cell to act in unison. If it's positive, they all move in one direction, and there's a spring in your step and goosebumps. That's where we're supposed to be. But then when you think pervasively about negative, that's where you stub your toe, very often have accidents because you have lowered your cellular vibration. Your feet are dragging. Right? So your mind, and that's what this work is about, your mind is so powerful. And that's what we're doing here. And that's what I want to continue doing. And here is my darling friend, Tracy. Hi. Yes, another year. Yeah, you can just plug in. As long as I'm here, I'll be doing it. You know, I mean, let's just hope that LinkedIn still is doing it. You know, you never know what changes they might make. Okay, let me see how we're doing here. Yes, I see you're finally able to join a session. I see you do that every time you have a day off. Sometimes you show up on Monday. So thanks, Jackie. I see you. Jackie has a fabulous show Monday nights at 9:30, and I've usually fallen asleep. Okay, I hate to say that. So I'm a team replay person, but she has one or two guests each week. And she is expanding into all sorts of wonderful things. So be sure to check her out, 9:30 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Just Jacks and guests. And here is the wonderful Harvey Tuck. Thank you so much for being here. Harvey was with us 2 weeks ago on Desire because Harvey was able to share with all of you how he used these Friday sessions and nothing more to achieve a goal he wanted, which is to get 12 paid sponsorships for his show, which is at 12:15 Eastern. Oh gosh, every Tuesday, the franchise hour. I think I got that right, Harvey. Okay, so check it out, and don't think because it's a show about franchises that you have to know anything about franchises. Am I right? Is it 12:15 on Tuesdays? You'll correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, you're so welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And there's the most wonderful Dr. Marcia. Hi, Marcia, Dr. Marcia. Tuesday mornings, 8 a.m., the most amazing live. She is an executive coach and a Christian leadership coach, and she opens to everybody's concepts, no matter where they come from. So she doesn't put boundaries on concepts. And that's what I especially love about her shows. Always insightful. She does relate much of what we talk about to different pieces of the New Testament, which is fine, right? It's another resource for us. Yes, I'm excited to meet the authors tonight too. Yes, and we do love our soul man, absolutely. Gita, that's our Jackie. And look, Felipe's here. Hi, Felipe. I'm glad you have time to be here today. Felipe works for PRB and he is in HR, but he's also here on LinkedIn as an executive coach. He is a LinkedIn top voice. And also every other Monday at 8 o'clock, he has Workplace Wellness Hour, 8 p.m. Eastern with Sumana Jetty and Ashley Llewellyn. And then every other Sunday, he has Careers, Chaos, and Coaching, which he partners up with the one and only Melissa Houston. And they talk about all sorts of things about careers and coaching. So thanks for being here. And thank you for making time. Felipe, it's always wonderful. He's also a number one international best-selling children's author. Brand new creative thing that he's doing. You've got it in you too. All right, let's just see here. Oh, we've got Charles Caldwell calling in from, let me just move this down. Here we go. From Hong Kong. Charles is amazing. He and I have done Landmark Education's transformational program, but I mean, I've done it several times. He actually facilitated a whole center in Canada. So he's been on Mind Over Matter Mondays, and we've kicked around some of the concepts and taught them to you. And I hope you'll come back again, Charles. Thank you so much for being here. And there's Christy. Hi, Christy. Christy and I are in the 2350 network platform, along with several other people here. Jackie is one. Christy is a big supporter. She's one of the people that has been, since the beginning, I've done this, she reposts this to all her network. And she does that for you too. So she's a consistent supporter. And maybe that's the only thing you can do or you want to do is just repost something every day. Let me tell you, if everybody did just one small thing, oh gosh. If everybody did that, life would change. And I apologize for the error. Thank you for correcting me. It's at 9 p.m. Okay, we're talking about recovery. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Felipe. And I appreciate your being here. I know you have a tough schedule. It's filled. And I know every year, Felipe, I think it's okay to tell you this, he has thousands of people on Halloween at his house or in his yard. So he's always preparing for that. And he's done some very creative videos around that as well this year. So I love that. All right. Let's see. We're getting close to everybody coming in. This is my favorite part, you guys. You know, that song, by the way, was Karen Carpenter. And you know, you guys are my LinkedIn family. So most of you know, hey, Lisa, let me just say hello to my Lisa Fevick, another Sagittarius sister, a registered dietitian every other Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. She has metamorphosis dialogues where she discusses with her fine panel the foods that help exacerbate over 100 symptoms that women or your partner has to go through during some up to 30 years of menopause. It's not that long for everybody, but there's a pre or a peri, and then there's menopause, and then there's post. So we don't know. So if you keep up with Lisa, she also does a newsletter that guides you to eat the best foods for any symptom, just in general. So it's very valuable. Lisa, thank you so much for being here. And Charles, all right, excellent. Oh, I didn't see this. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I don't have many people reading my newsletter. I don't post it that often. But I will tell you, Charles, there's something in the signs, in the planets and what's going on astrologically that said, be authentic, tell the truth. And so I've been doing some things that are a little scary. They're out of my comfort zone, walking away and things like that, and saying things because I'm pretty outspoken. I'm very outspoken. And I don't mean to be unkind, but I'm very straightforward. People sometimes get the wrong impression. And I understand that. I understand why. So I do hold back. But I put something up that I started writing in 2003 and then treated it again in 2015. Been sitting all this time. And then yesterday I posted it. So thank you for noticing, Charles. You are welcome, my sweet friend. Thank you for being here. All right. We need to get into this because our time's wasted. All right, we're good. Okay. Let me bring this up. All right, this is the sixth sense today. So let's quickly take a look at what we've done. This is real important. She said, okay, see, I want to make this a little bit bigger. I think I can. Let's see, maybe, let me just make sure. Try this one. No, that isn't good. I don't like that one. Well, that's me by myself. All right, I think you can see this. I hope so. I have to create a new screen. Anyway, there should be one in here. Well, that's fine. This is the 12 weeks. We're now in week 9, which is the sixth sense. Now, I want to tell you that it really comes after this one. This is the door to wisdom, the sixth sense, or your intuition. But you guys have been with me so long. I like to put this before the subconscious, which you've been exposed to, and then the 6 basic fears. So by the time you finish this, you can address the mechanism and source of your fears without getting triggered or upset, because you understand that if you are triggered, that is automatic negative subconscious behavior. And all this work we're doing through repetition is to create a stronger, higher side. Only one thought exists in any one moment. What's the most pervasive? What's the ones you're thinking about the most? And how are you feeling when you think about it? Our aspiration is to always look for the positive. I mean, it would be great if we could do that. Always look for the greatness in others. But the truth is, those fears have been with us a long time, and they were real, and they are carved deeply in the neural pathways. They're like an old rut on an old farmhouse road, right? That you can just put the truck in neutral and it'll go down the road itself over the bumps and everything. That's what your fear neuroplastic pathways look like. Old, lousy, dirty, deep ruts. But right next to it is a highway. So the question is, how do we get that old truck and have a highway? Well, we have to create new neural pathways in our brain because we already have the fearful ones. So all this work we're doing creates new neural pathways, which means that more quickly you will be able to stop yourself from reacting as quickly. You still may, but you'll start catching yourself and you'll think the opposite. Well, what's the lesson here? I failed, but what's the lesson here? They said something that hurt my feelings, but what's going on with them? Right? So it goes from self-centered, egotistical, and fearful to heart-centered, empathetic, and faithful. That's where we want to go. Okay, so we started the first 2 weeks, and I want to do this really quickly because this is such a juicy chapter. But keep in mind that none of this works for you setting your goal, any goal that you don't know how to do, big goal, or that you've failed at before, big fear, right? You have to have a definite purpose. This is in the introduction of Think and Grow Rich. It's not even one of the principles, but if you don't get this chapter, there's no need to go on. There really isn't. And you don't have to read the whole thing, because in these lessons, I've been doing this for 17, almost 18 years, 20,000 hours, 65 12-week programs, teaching this over and over and over again. That's why I look so young. I can pretty much work myself out of anything. Or I have a mastermind, and you want to have that too. Maybe 2 or 3 people that totally get you and know what you're doing. And speak with them at least once a week if you can about where you are. They'll be the ones that will notice the things for you to regain your greatness. You know, I haven't seen Sajid Kumar here, and he is usually here. It's all right. I was just thinking about him. All right. Once you have the definite purpose, something you want very much, you haven't done it before, you're the one. You're compelled. You might be slightly obsessive. Think about the greatest things that man has done for mankind. Think about computers. Those guys who created Apple and Microsoft, they were a little off kilter, right? When I worked with Aaron last year, we lived in the 5th dimension. We spoke every day. We were creating a 7.5-minute trailer. We weren't even here on Earth, honest to Pete, because it's really rather compelling. And Napoleon Hill in this chapter refers to intuition as creative imagination. Now, as we move along here, desire is the starting point of all achievement. Once you have your goal, what it is you want, you're compelled, you do not know how to do it, you have maybe failed at it before, and you are the one. Nothing will stop you, and you don't know why necessarily. It's just this inner thing. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what that inner thing is today. Then over the next 12 weeks, which is what I use, you're building faith. So you address this every week, and then you do a couple of tasks every week. And I recommend you meet with your accountability partner or group once a week, so that those 2 tasks each week that'll take you to the goal, if anything gets in the way, you've got someone there to come up with alternative solutions with you. This is a real mastermind. And so that you don't lose that week, right? If you didn't talk and something didn't work, you've had a whole week to think about how it didn't work, rather than getting right back on and one step at a time. So faith you can build perfect faith in 90 days if you only have one goal. It can be done. And it's all done through autosuggestion, which is self-suggestion. What are you thinking about? And it is repetitive in spaced intervals over time. You don't do it just once a week. You do it 3 or 4 times a week. You think about it. Your 2 tasks can be 30 or 45 minutes, and they don't need to cost anything. One goal allows you to follow the process so you can repeat it. And then you use autosuggestion for that. And then we did imagination. And today, which is the 6th sense or intuition, 100 years ago, the understanding was that intuition had to do with imagination. And it is intuition and imagination is how you connect to the universe, to God. You don't have to know exactly how something works to know it works through evidence that you've seen. You know that faith is real. Could you tell me, or could I tell you the entire scientific process? Probably not. Do I need to? No. So there are 2 kinds of imagination. And what Napoleon Hill is referring to as he's looking at 6th sense is creative imagination. Those are the ideas you get out of the blue, right? You get this wild idea you never had before, or someone's talking to you and an idea pops into your head and you go, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I will tell you, this just happened to me a week ago Tuesday. I am writing in the Legacy Chronicles. This is the second 25 years of my life. Last year was the first 25 years. This, I thought I would do them all the rest of my life. This is for my family, my kids, my grandkids. So when I'm gone, they know what the heck I did with my life, right? So I was going to write the whole thing, the rest of it, and I just couldn't get my arms around how to do it. I know how to write. I can sit down and write anything, but I couldn't get inside the next 25 years from 1972 to about, well, actually about 2000, 2002. That's when it was, till 2002. And so I was having a conversation with Nicole, and we were talking about something Tracy did. She's in the Legacy too, as well. This anthology, there's 10 authors, and we're meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. So come and join us and grab a drink and something to eat and come watch. We were talking about that, and all of a sudden I got this flash, and that is what Napoleon Hill refers to as the sixth sense. It's this thought that somehow elbows its way into your conscious awareness. And I remembered in that moment that when I was 17, I was reading Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, The Theater of Absurd. Halfway through, I put the book down. It was 2 a.m., and I was a freshman in college, and I wrote a whole play in the exact voice and style of Beckett. In 4 hours, it was done, and then I went and finished the book. This is when I was 17. I realized in that moment I would write a play. And that afternoon, I wrote 3,500 words, a live play with asides, stage direction, cast of characters. I checked out through AI the formatting. I am so proud of this, and it contains all the stories that my grandchildren want me to tell over and over again about their parents, my children. So this gift of creative imagination and intuition is available to all of us. All of us. That's a real live example, and I bet if you think about it, you'll have it too. Oh dear, here we go with time. All right, then when Harvey was here, it was decision. If you have a specific purpose and it's very clear, decisions are easy. The opposite of decision is procrastination, the biggest pain in our side, right? It's because if you have a very clear, definite purpose, if something comes to interrupt you like a squirrel, a new opportunity that sounds so juicy, you stop and ask the question, if I do this, will it take me toward my goal or not? And if it won't, you don't do it then. So you don't have to throw it out, but you have to build that boundary to realize, okay, I'm doing one goal and this is going to distract me. Okay, so that's where decision is so important. Last week was persistence. You must have purpose, desire, and persistence to achieve any goal. Persistence will bring you through the rest of them. And today we're at the sixth sense. Yay! Let me look here. Okay. Let me see if anything. Oh, Deb is here. Yay, Deb, I want to talk to you about coming on. I'm so glad you're here. Deb has done landmark education work, and I've discovered that there's 4 or 5 people that have done this. So I'm going to have us all on a panel so we can kick around those concepts and really get inside them. All right, let's see what's next here. Okay, and now I want to be little for this, so I think I'll do this. Okay, well, I'm not terribly little. Maybe this. Ooh, that's what I wanted. Okay, perfect. Yes, Steve Jobs is an example of it. They're a little crazy. I mean, honest to Pete, I'm sure if you ask anybody who's working intensely on something where time disappears and you're going 12, 18 hours without eating or thinking or sleeping, that's a little obsessive, not very balanced. Anyway, but that's one of the things, right? Okay, so look at this. This is the mind. Oh my gosh, look who's here. Catherine is here. Catherine, you will love this. We're talking about the sixth sense today. So happy you're here. Now, this is a blueprint of your mind. Now, most of you know it is so irritating to me, and my job is for people to understand this. I listen to people that have degrees in psychology and they're all about neuro. They don't know how their mind works. I've asked the questions to distinguish, do they really know? They've never been taught. Therefore, they can't get inside like you are right now. Now, look, the mind is an activity. You've got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind, the one we're using right now. We get information through our five senses. However, what we're developing every week, and you are developing, are the mental muscles, the spiritual warriors, the intellectual faculties that, when strengthened like a muscle, will outweigh your fears. Because what happens is, as you get information, as you allow it in, and it repeats, positive or negative, over and over and over again, it impresses into the subconscious mind, with which the Greeks called heart of hearts. And your subconscious mind is not the thinking mind. It's your reactive mind. You're reacting. This is where your emotions are, where you're triggered. This is where what you believe is, mostly negative, right? Through repetition. It's where your ego is, right? You can't be heart-centered on the conscious side and be in your ego, but subconscious is default, and it's not thinking at all. It's reacting. It's emotional, whereas conscious is feeling and thinking and responsive. But your paradigms, your groups of habits and conditioning are there, and all your subconscious programming, what they call stories. There's all kinds of labels for this, but it's not thinking. So what you need to know, or what I'd like you to know, is that there are 6 of these, and every week I drop in things that help you think that way, to get clear. Once this becomes clear to you, you can take action, but you could still be in confusion. If you stick with it, out of confusion will come clarity, and then you can move on it. So you've got imagination, intuition, which we're calling the 6th sense. He didn't call it intuition. We do. Perception, memory, reason, and will. All right. I'm your huckleberry. Okay, I got it. I've missed you so much. Okay, and Nicole is here. Hi, Nicole. Nicole, I announced earlier that tonight's a big night for Soul Man Live, where we're going to meet all the authors of the Legacy Chronicles for 2025. So glad you're here. All right, so you see the 2. The way you build those ruts in your neural pathways is by resurrecting the negative, reminding yourself how you failed, not doing things, focusing on negative things about yourself. You can't be heart-centered. So everybody has this, except maybe someone who was born into wealth might not have one of our basic fears. This is where your 6 basic fears are, your beliefs, and you have perfect faith in them. Okay. So this kind of gets you inside your conscious mind. It comes in through your 5 senses. Okay. If you hold that idea, positive or negative, also by default, if you're washing dishes or cooking dinner and you're listening to Fox News or MS Now, which upsets you, either one, right? It's getting in. It's not necessarily intentional. Remember, about 95% of our thinking is not thinking at all. It's reacting and responding and reacting. Well, it's more reacting. Okay, so let's go on. Now I want to show you how I used the 6th sense back in 2007 and how it led me to where I am today. And there's a big piece in here that you want to get about money. So in 2006, I started a group called The Secret Society on Meetup. Well, actually, that was in 2007. 2006, The Secret came out by Rhonda Byrne. These secrets about the law of attraction have been known by the elders in church, so it goes, and kept away from the average people how to use these universal laws. And by the way, Napoleon Hill gets into them, and I teach them. Because not only do you have the principles of success, but there are 7 universal laws that work 24/7, 365. They're God's laws. You know, universal to me, it's God, Buddha, Krishna, it doesn't matter. It's one universal source of the energy of love. Okay, let's just say that. You can put whatever name you want on it, but we are connected to our universe. I think most people can agree that. At that time, I was a secretary making $2,500 a month, USD. This is in 2006, and I started this meetup group in 2007 with $500 in the bank. Later that year, I was loving these meetups. Later that year, I got an email from someone I didn't know, and I knew, do not open emails. This was back then. But there was something within me that said, open the email. I listened. I don't know how many I hadn't opened that I shouldn't have opened, but this one I did. And inside what was from someone I didn't know, and there was a link. Do not click the link. I clicked the link, landed at Life Success. Who was there? The picture on Life Success's website? Bob Proctor. Who's Bob Proctor? I only knew him as the white-haired grandfatherly guy in The Secret, the movie. Never heard of him. Didn't know anything about him. Kind of liked him, right? So I got into a conversation with their salespeople, and they said, we want you to come down here to West Palm Beach from North Carolina in 6 months, the spring of 2008. And in the meantime, we're going to send you the manual of a Think and Grow Rich Mastermind. Please get together, 8 people live at some location, and each week you're going to teach them over this 8 weeks. Well, I didn't know what Think and Grow Rich was, and she kept saying mastermind. What the hell is a mastermind? So then the big question. I knew this was for me. I had been led here. I went against my impulse, my reaction, which was not to open the email and not click the link. I went against it. It was my higher side. It was where intuition is. Intuition is not in the subconscious. Consider it is not gut. People say, oh, well, my gut said to do this. What if, let me just go back here. What if, see, people think that intuition is over here, but it's not. What if intuition is in the conscious mind? What if the thing we've heard all our life, that God is within us, that it is within our conscious mind? It's the whisper of what to do over the cacophony of all your failures. I believe that we are connected to the universe, and that universal source is already within us. And through intuition and imagination, the universe whispers, what is next? Isn't that nice? Okay. So I asked, how much? And this is in November 2007. She said, the salesperson said, $16,000. Well, I told you I had $500 in the bank and no access to that kind of money. You might have said $160,000. It was so outrageous, but I knew I was going to do it. So what I did was I shut down the money part. If it had been $5,000, I would have been able to, I would have grappled with it. I would have gone out and maybe found it. But because it was $16,000, it was absolutely out of the question. So what did I do? I completely focused on the manual that came, gathering the 8 people together over those few months, not having a clue how the money's coming, but doing the work. So excited, so sure. And then 4 months in, I got a call from my husband at the time. He wasn't an ex, and he said, Leslie, he said, the company just sold off some stock. I'm sending you a check for $20,000. I promise you, I hadn't talked to him. I didn't know about this. The universe is magical. 2008, I was there. I became a certified coach and consultant and have been teaching this work every week for the last 18 years to people like you who are ready and willing and hungry to know more. Okay, Hope you like that. All right, let's go. I wanted you to see that's intuition. Now, I want to tell you this story that is vital out of this chapter. And I think I can make myself a little bit bigger now. There we go. So one of the things that Napoleon Hill learned using his imagination was visualization. And remember, this is usually the last chapter. So I have moved it back a bit because I've been sharing with you how the mind works. And I think you'll get this. We've done visualization during other quarters. So there's a practice that he took on. There were several people at that time, 100 years ago, that Napoleon Hill really loved their leadership style. And he wanted to emulate them all. He wanted to get the best of Thomas Edison, the best of Philip Armour, the best of Napoleon, the best character, their best character elements. Gosh, I should have practiced this more. Anyway, well, here's what he did. He knew about autosuggestion, he knew about imagination, and he knew about the sixth sense. So he began his practice every night at bedtime. He'd lay in bed and close his eyes, and he'd create this group of men, and they would all be standing. And he invited Emerson, Ford, Charles Darwin, Abraham Lincoln, Napoleon, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, of course, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thomas Paine. He invited them to a meeting, and he's using visualization. So on the other diagram, when you visualize, you close your eyes and you look at the screen of your mind about 20 degrees above eye level. So as he was laying in bed, he invited all these men, these 9 men, into a meeting, and he made himself the leader. And each one, he asked them, because he wanted to emulate their characteristics, so he requested. And he said, as an example, Napoleon, he told each one of them this: I desire to acquire from you, by emulation, the marvelous ability you possess to inspire men, to arouse them to greater and more determined spirit of action. Mr. Lincoln, I desire to build into my own character the keen sense of justice, the untiring spirit of patience, the sense of humor, the human understanding, and the tolerance which were your distinguishing characteristics. And so on and so forth. Now, he did this every night. Now, something magical happened. He was doing this for months, and he began to notice that there were these certain characteristics, behavioral characteristics of the people he was interacting with in this visualization of these men, right, that were such great leaders. And they had attributes that Napoleon Hill wanted to adopt. So he used visualization. Now, if you've been working with me, you know that visualization is the DNA of manifestation. When you visualize in real time that you're having this conference with your eyes closed as you're getting ready to go to sleep, it enhances all your senses because it's not in the future, it's happening right now. So actually, he got a little scared. After 6 months, I'm checking the time here, he got scared and he stopped for quite a while. And one night when he got into bed, he was afraid. And I've had that same feeling sometimes, right? Where things are a little out there and so you get a little afraid. So he stopped. But one night, Abraham Lincoln showed up in his visualization without him asking and basically told him, go back and do your work. You're going to change the world. And if you do not go back to your work and come back to these meetings, you will not be pleased basically with what the result was. So he went back. Not only did he continue, but he added up to 50 people. And of course, his book made all the difference in the world. So I think what there is to get here is that the mind is super, super powerful, that your sixth sense is your connection to the universe, that all ideas are already here. And through creative imagination, an idea that you never thought of will be thrown into your conscious mind, because all ideas are already here and they circulate from thought energy to us. We decide, do we want to do this or not? If we do, we think about it, and through visualization over time, building faith in our ability and deservability to achieve it. Once we achieve it, okay, now that goes into the subconscious. We've now proven that we're capable. We didn't know how we'd do it, or we'd failed before, and we're deserving because we actually achieved it. So now what you've done is you've built faith. It moves into the subconscious and begins to build a new neural pathway, but once isn't enough. So that's why you continue to repeat the process throughout your life, right? Okay, let me see if you have any questions. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Happy to do that. Happy to do that. Let's see what Sharon Rose says here. Conscious consumption is so important. Absolutely. Catherine says, love Bob Proctor. Yeah, I'm glad I am too, right? But can you imagine $16,000, please? You know, it was outrageous. So what I do is I kind of compartmentalize. I say that men do this, but I can do this too. It was so outrageous and unreasonable that I just cut it off. I didn't even think about money, not until I got that call. Okay, let me see where we are. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. All right, let me tell you about this. This is my my annual goal setting program. Now, let me see. How did I make things bigger? I don't even remember. Maybe I did this. I did. All right. I've been doing this every year for 18 years. And I've done it twice a year. I used to do it 2 and 3 times a year because people wanted it back. Basically, what this is, it's a condensation of an 8-week program into 3 hours. And I started trimming the 8 weeks down, right, until it became transformational. Now, here's what's happened. The first 90 minutes, I'm going to fill you up with everything I know. You're going to get all the principles of success. You're going to understand the universal law. You're going to understand the mind. You're going to be thoroughly immersed in the laws of achievement. Yes, you've heard it before, but you're at a higher level of awareness now. Things will show up newly for you. You will have a good night's sleep and you will bring your own journal. So the first half, you'll be taking notes. Right? I'll be talking, we'll be talking, you're taking notes. The second half is where the magic happens, much like what landmark education does. And I figured this out. What I'll do is fill you up and pump you up with so much positivity that your mind feels like a sponge. It's like mush. I don't know any other way to explain it, but what happens is it opens a direct portal to the universe. You will then download all of your 2026 goals and beyond for some that you never thought of before. When I tell you all ideas are already here and in the universe, they are. How about the time where you had an idea and you worked on it for a while and you really loved it and you gave it up? And 6 months later, someone on the other side of the country did it. And you go, oh my God, that was my idea. Remember, Leslie, that was my idea. I was working on that. Yes, but you let it go. And do you think that the universe is going to throw it away because you didn't finish it? Oh, no. It circulates back into the universe. And I believe that the work you did goes to the next person because that idea is going to be granted and gifted to someone else. So no one steals your ideas. You either use them as the gifts from God, right? Because they're positive and wonderful for mankind, or you let them go and someone else will do it. We can't think that we're so great that if we don't do it, no one else will do it. All right. So let me just tell you that is on Thursday, the 4th of December from 11 to 2, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is the only thing I charge for. And what you'll get out of it is much more than your investment. I picked 111 because of all the astrology that's going on. You will do a very simple registration. I'll shoot you an invoice, and then we will do this on Zoom, and I will prepare you for it. I highly recommend you do this. Many people come back year after year after year, and they bring their notebook, and they're amazed at how much they've accomplished, because we don't always look in our notebook except right in the beginning when we're setting our goals. So I invite you. It's an experience. It's exciting. It's something you've never done before. And you will actually touch universal source. And you will know everything I know. I tell you everything I've learned. And my unique ability that I have been told is the ability to articulate complex concepts in simple form. So I know how to share this with you, and it's so much fun. So let me go back to where you can see things. Well, you can see me. There we go. Now let me just see. There was a QR code there. So I put the link in the comments. And if you want to, let me just bring this back for a second. Oh no, I want to put that back here. If you would like to register, just use the QR code here, or tinyurl.com achievement code. Okay. So I'd love to have you. You'll love it. All right. Well, with that, I would say we are complete. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Oh, look who's here. Americo, did you just come in? Oh gosh. Yes, 3 feet from gold. Right. So yes, Americo, that's true. And one of the classic stories in Think and Grow Rich is 3 feet from gold, about R.U. Darby during the gold rush days when he borrowed all that money from his family and found a claim, and it was a good one. But then it stopped. And what he failed to do was to seek expert advice. So he sold all his equipment to the junk man or the tin man on the site, who immediately went to the geologist, who immediately told him, you're 3 feet from gold. And the junk man made all the money. Yeah, so, and here we have a new person I just met. Thank you. Very insightful session. So proud of your growth till now. Thank you for sharing your gift of engagement, as well as the wisdom learned on your journey. Great to see you making the most of your talents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So glad that you like this. I'm so happy, and I'm going to send you out with the promo, what you're going to get out of the 3-hour December 4th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. transformational workshop. And I really hope you throw your hat over the fence. And with that, I'm going to play this and end this and say, come around at 8 o'clock tonight for Soul Man Live and check out all these amazing people that were here today. I'm grateful.